Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I'm going to highlight the latest comments from the White House Chief Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow and let you know exactly what he said and how those comments seem to differ from what the Federal Reserve Chairman and from what the US Treasury Secretary said. It was very clear what the US Treasury Secretary said. If you saw my previous video, he said that $1,200 stimulus checks were absolutely necessary. In fact, the Democratic representative Rasheedat Tlaib specifically said that we could be looking at economic collapse if the $1,200 stimulus checks are not sent out. And Stephen Mnuchin agreed. And he said that it was a position of the administration that the $1,200 stimulus check should go out. Now, what is ironic, despite this, is that the skinny bill from the Republicans did not include the $1,200 stimulus check. And if we take a close look at comments today from the White House Senior Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow, he said that the economy does not need more stimulus for a V-shaped recovery. In fact, we'll take a look at some of his specific comments. And what I find unusual is that some of these White House officials on a matter of national urgency, on a matter of national importance, seem to have slightly contradicting statements. Now, Larry Kudlow did say that a targeted bill was necessary, and that is something that he has said in the past. But the US Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin said that a $1,200 stimulus check was essential, and Larry Kudlow said that, I quote, the economy does not need more stimulus for a V-shaped recovery, but a targeted bill would be nice. So I find this highly unusual. I do want you to check out my other video where I went into more detail about what the US Treasury Secretary said. So definitely check that out. But in this video, we'll take a closer look at the comments from the White House Senior Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow. In fact, let's roll the tape and see exactly what he said today.
Let me start with whether we're going to have another relief bill, as I like to call it, on the COVID front. It does seem to quote a lot of the DC people we talked to yesterday. They said, listen, with how vicious this fight over the Supreme Court seat is going to be, there's no way Congress is going to compromise on this bill now. Do you think that analysis is right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of it. You can walk and chew gum at the same time, so it's not necessarily a given. But look, as you just heard Secretary Mnuchin, it's important from the administration, from the president's standpoint, we have been asking for 5 or 6 assistance programs. I don't think the V-shaped recovery depends on the package, but I do think a targeted package could be a great help. In shorthand, we call it kids and jobs. We wanted additional funds, for example, I believe $105 billion, Kelly, all along to help open the schools. Any costs that are necessary for safety and security to help open the schools, which is absolutely vital for education, for psychology, for the economy. Second, we've also wanted to extend the assistance plan, the PPP plan, to small businesses. I mean, we actually had money, I don't know, it's over $100 billion
right,
that could be repurposed to go back into that plan. I think the plan was very effective. I think it did save perhaps 50 million jobs, and I think it's helping folks get back to work, better unemployment numbers than we suspected. So those are just 2 items. There are other items that we were happy to look at, but unfortunately we couldn't reach agreement with the other side. And so that was before the judicial issues came up. So I'm just saying, I don't think one depends on the other. I just think we were at a stalemate, and I wish we could break the stalemate, because even though I think the economy is improving nicely, it could use help in some key targeted places.
As you can see, Larry Kudlow said, I don't think the V-shaped recovery depends on the package, but I do think a targeted package could be of great help. Now, his suggestion, and again, you can actually see this article on CNBC, and it's very clear that Larry Kudlow's suggestion marks a departure from statements made by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and US Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin just hours earlier today. And just to be clear, both Mnuchin and Jerome Powell testified today that additional stimulus is needed in certain industries until we get back to some semblance of a normal life. So here's what Larry Kudlow said. He said, again, I don't think the V-shaped recovery depends on the package. By the way, I have done other videos where I've mentioned that this is a K-shaped recovery. This is not a V-shaped recovery. And he said, but I do think a targeted package could be of great help. And I quote, even though I think the economy is improving nicely, it could use some help in some key targeted places. Those are words from the White House senior economic advisor, Larry Kudlow. He also added that the White House has for weeks championed more funding for schools and the Paycheck Protection Program, a facility established by the CARES Act. And he also acknowledged that while the overall US economy appears to be in the middle of a comeback, he did say that there are still industries that are suffering as a result of this pandemic. Now, it's very clear that there are certain industries where individuals cannot work remotely. These include travel, entertainment, leisure, hotels. So all of these businesses, travel, entertainment, leisure, and hotels, and they've been badly impacted. No one's traveling, no one's getting in an airplane. I'm certainly not. People aren't eating out, people aren't going to restaurants, people aren't going to movie theaters, people aren't going to hotels. So all of this is having a severe impact on individuals and industries where they simply cannot work remotely. There are certain things that simply cannot be done remotely. And so those are the industries that are unfortunately getting impacted the most. And what is ironic is those are the industries that have more low wage earners. Those are the industries that have more individuals who don't even have a high school education, which is why this is such an uneven economic recovery, because some individuals are getting left behind. I believe the train is leaving the station, and unfortunately it's leaving some individuals behind. And so here's what Kudlow said. He said, we also wanted to extend the assistance plan, the PPP plan, to small business. I mean, we actually had money. It's over $100 billion that could be repurposed to go back in through that plan. I think that plan was very effective. I think it did save perhaps 50 million jobs. This is according to Larry Kudlow. He also said, unfortunately, we couldn't reach agreement with the other side, and that was before the judicial issues came up. I wish we could break the stalemate. Now, there was a suggestion that the US economy could go back into a sharp rebound without further aid. So this is highly, again, these statements are different from the statements that were made by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and US Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. And I did cover those in another video, so you definitely want to check that out. In fact, in testimony before the House Financial Services Committee that included Jerome Powell and Stephen Mnuchin today, both of them suggested that additional stimulus may be needed, especially in certain industries. And, for what Larry Kudlow said, on the other hand, was that further economic recovery could take place, assuming that Congress could reach a compromise. So this is what Powell said. I would say that most forecasters assume some fiscal action. Fiscal action underlies many current forecasts. What's happening lately is the economy has proved resilient both to the broader spread of the disease over the summer in some of the southwestern states and also to the expiration of the CARES Act benefits. So what he's saying is that things are better than what we thought initially, and therefore more stimulus is not needed for what he calls a V-shaped recovery. I believe this is a K-shaped recovery where some individuals have already recovered and other individuals are essentially getting left behind. Let me know what you think about Larry Kudlow's comments in the comment section below. More importantly, I want to know from my viewers and subscribers how you think these comments actually differ from the comments made by US Treasury Secretary earlier today. The administration officials need to be talking to each other, and they need to come to some sort of a consensus so that we can have a broader stimulus package, so that the Republicans can see eye to eye, and so that we can have another stimulus. So just again, some of these things surprise me, but this is where things stand right now. And what Mnuchin said, I quote, in his testimony at the White House was, a bipartisan agreement was needed, and he believes, I quote, a targeted bill is still needed. So there is agreement. There's definitely agreement by, at least as far as Stephen Mnuchin and the White House is concerned. But, Larry Kudlow seems to be presenting a different point of view, and he is the White House senior economic advisor. So I just want to be clear, Larry Kudlow is not someone we can dismiss. I wish there was some clarity and there was some consensus about, hey, exactly what is the position, and let's get something done. And this whole situation has been exaggerated by the unfortunate demise of Honorable Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I did cover that in another video as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Share this video please with friends and family. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I've been covering stimulus. I've been covering unemployment benefits. I'm also creating a new video series for our viewers and subscribers called the Financial Freedom Series, because my goal is to help you get past the dependence on stimulus checks. My goal is to get you past the dependence on unemployment benefits. And I know that we need money now to pay our bills. I get that. But my goal is to help provide you with a long-term foundation of wealth building. Definitely check out the Financial Freedom Series. definitely check out the series on remote work 101 so you can get ideas on how to expand your opportunities of earning revenue, because at the end of the day, achieving financial freedom is about making money, saving money, and investing money. So I'm hoping that I can help you achieve that, because I was able to achieve that myself. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream, and you'll learn who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I don't want my viewers and subscribers to be dependent on the government. I don't want my viewers and subscribers to be waiting on the next stimulus check, which is why this whole situation, it's just aggravating for our viewers and subscribers. And my goal is to provide you with financial education and financial freedom. If you have the ability to save, please save. If you don't have the ability to save and you need the funds to, pay bills, I get it. If the government's not helping, see if you can reach out and ask individuals for help. I do want us to be able to get through this so that in the next phase of our lives, we're not dependent on the government. We're not waiting for a stimulus check. We're not waiting for, we're not trying to follow what the House is doing, what the Senate is doing, what Mitch McConnell is saying, what House Speaker Pelosi is saying. We just need to be able to get on with our lives. We need to be able to put this behind us. And I understand the collective frustration. I understand the collective anger of our community with the way things are right now. And I do want to help as much as I can. And I'm going to provide you with the news. I'll try and provide you good news, but I'm just going to provide you with honest news as it comes out. And that is my commitment to you. So hopefully the two sides can see eye to eye. Hopefully Larry Kudlow can essentially be on the same page as U.S. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. Hopefully they can get on the phone with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, come to an agreement leading to stimulus for the American people. But every day that goes by, unfortunately, it looks less and less likely that we'll see some sort of a stimulus. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Choda. You can get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or time to 70,000. That's 70000. If you want to get on our SMS alerts list, you can opt out at any time. You can also get on our email alerts list at ignitiontime.com/alerts. You can opt out of email alerts at any time. If you learn something new, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. You can also bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. This way you can bookmark our channel and you won't miss a single video. Follow us on Instagram at ignition_time. That's our Instagram handle. That's ignition_time. Also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you. Bye.